I was living alone in a 2-bedroom apartment in a suburban neighborhood in São Paulo. The apartment was small, but it was what I could afford at the time. I had just moved to the city to start a new job, and I was excited to start a new life. On my first day in the apartment, I was getting settled in when I heard a noise coming from my bedroom window. I looked outside and saw a man standing in the street looking at me. He was a tall, thin man with black hair and a pale face. He was wearing a black coat and a wide-brimmed hat that hid his eyes. At first, I thought he was just curious, but he kept looking at me for several minutes. I felt a little uncomfortable, so I closed the curtain. The next day, the man was there again. This time, he was closer to the window. I could see his face clearly now. He had deep black eyes that made me look straight into my soul. I started to get scared. I didn't know who this man was or what he wanted. I tried to ignore it, but it was difficult. He was always there, looking at me. One night, I woke up in the middle of the night to a noise. I opened my eyes and saw the man standing at my window. He was looking at me with an evil smile on his face. I screamed and threw myself back. The missing man. I stayed awake the rest of the night, afraid he would come back. The next day, I called the police. They sent a police officer to investigate, but he found nothing. He said it was probably just a homeless man who was looking for a place to sleep. I don't believe him. I knew the man was real and that he was watching me. I started to get paranoid. I woke up all night looking at the window, waiting for the man to come back. One day, I was leaving work when I saw the man again. He was standing on the corner. I was watching. I ran away from him, but he stopped me. He chased me for several blocks until I managed to enter a building and lock myself in. I hid in the building for hours, afraid the man would return. The next day, I changed apartments. I couldn't live there anymore, knowing the man was out there, watching me. I never saw the man again, but I never forgot him.